Good afternoon and welcome to the regular scheduled Municipal Planning Commission meeting for Thursday, June the 12th, 2025. Call the meeting to order at 12 o'clock. If I could have any additions to the agenda? None? If we could have an adoption of the agenda, please. Art? Second? Shelley?
I got to read the motion first.
Back up here.
I move that the Municipal Planning Commission adopt the agenda for the June 12th, 2025 meeting as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Minutes from the last meeting of May 15th, Municipal Planning Commission. Have a motion to adopt the minutes.
I will. That propose that the Municipal Planning Commission adopt the minutes for the May 15th? Is it May 15th? The last meeting? May 15th, 2025 Municipal Planning Commission meeting as presented.
Second. Aaron? All in favor?
Just 1 second. Can
Sorry,
we just verify?
hang on.
Yeah, can we verify that last meeting real quick?
Yeah. Because we've been here since.
Sorry, I'm just going to my calendar. 9th.
So you want 29th?
Yeah.
Okay. I will make the motion that the Municipal Planning Commission adopt the minutes for May 29th, 2025 Municipal Planning Commission meeting as presented.
Seconder to approve as amended. Aaron? All in favor? Carried. 5.0 Palliser Regional Municipal Services Proposed Residential Subdivision, which is a creation of 15 lots plus a laneway. File number 80/172 PRMS number 2025-007. Who's present? Devin or Gary? Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gary Wilson. I'm with Palliser Regional Municipal Services. As mentioned, I have one subdivision file to present today. It's a residential proposal in the neighborhood district.
Sorry, Gary. Is this screen sharing or supposed to be?
Oh, yeah, it should be.
Okay. So you, like through Teams, hit team sharing or this?
So, do you want me to come do it?
I think I can. There we go. Sorry, there's a share thing on top of the PowerPoint. Sorry, Gary.
Yeah, so we're good now. So the location of it is the old former hospital site. The civic address is 625 Riverside Drive East. The legal description of the lot is Lot 1, Block 2, Plan 231-1048, which was originally subdivided in 2022. The applicant on this file is Grant Wallace, a surveyor on behalf of the town of Drumheller, which is the owner. The titled area is 0.54 hectares. It's, as mentioned, it's being divided into 15 lots with a central laneway. The laneway essentially takes up 11.91% of the existing parcel. Lot sizes vary from 0.027 hectares to 0.044 hectares. Municipal reserve, no municipal reserve is required in this situation, as it's been previously dealt with on older subdivisions that have taken place in the area. The appeal status is to the province due to the proximity of the Red Deer River. Through circulation, we received a couple phone calls from adjacent landowners, and they followed up with the emails. So we had 3 of them who had some comments. I've responded to them with just clarifying some of the issues that they had. Um, some of it was the confusion, which is easy to do with the development compared to the subdivision. Um, First one we had was Ellen Smith at 580 Fifth Avenue East, requesting further information about the scope and intended use of the subdivision, expressed concerns about the lack of detail in the public notice, asked if there'd be an open house and the opportunity for public to speak to it, and notes the impact on her property and the Riverside neighborhood. Um, Second person was Patrice and Volker Wolf at 615 Fifth Avenue East. They expressed support for the subdivision consisting of single family dwellings, objected to the intensive development over the many years, noting concerns about prolonged construction and traffic. I guess their concerns is this development could take, more than a short period of time to develop. And they also suggested a scaled down layout of 6 lots per side, incorporating a green space and building height restrictions to maintain neighborhood character. And the third adjacent landowner um, had strong opposition to the potential of row housing or high density development on small lots, concerned the area may be targeted for low cost 2-story housing, um, altering the quiet nature of the community, predicting increase in traffic, parking issues, and a negative effect on property values. Criticized the lack of notification to adjacent residents and inconsistent information from town officials. Explained to him how our circulation system works, being that we circulate to adjacent landowners and what the definition of that would be. Um, Express frustration over what perceived as a lack of transparency and communication from the applicant and planning authority. So to summarize that, there's a lack of clear communication in insufficient public consultation, desire for low density development consistent with existing lot care, lot sizes and character, concerns over traffic noise and property values, requests for detail on the project scope, housing types, and future plans. And in support of it, there's general support for new residential development if appropriately scaled and aligned with the community character, and requests for green space and development control, such as building heights and densities. So that was adjacent landowners, and then part of the other circulation, Alberta Health Services had no objections, Apex Utilities had no objections, ATCO Electric had no comments or concerns. TELUS, they commented that they'd like to be named within the general right-of-way agreement, and I believe Grant Wallace, the surveyor, has gotten in touch with them. There's no abandoned wells that'll have any impact on the subdivision or development. Closest abandoned wells would be across the river to the north, up on top of the hill. So staff comments, basically the the proposal aligns with the neighborhood district to support compact, walkable neighborhoods with diverse housing options. The lot size and laneway configuration meets and are compatible with the district requirements. Looking at some of the older surrounding blocks that are around it, they're not much bigger than what this proposal is, and same configuration with the lots on the north and south facing out onto the streets with a central laneway going down the middle. It complies with the Municipal Development Plan 17-2, supports the infill development and efficient use of service land, integration of lot formats and housing diversity, and enhances the local walkability through laneway-based design. Lot design and configuration, as mentioned, there's 15 residential lots proposed, ranging anywhere from 270 square meters to 440 square meters, with consistent depths of 38.9 meters and variable widths of 7.21 to 11.86 meters wide. The lot layout supports low-density residential development and offers flexibility for narrow lot housing or semi-detached units. The larger end lots, being proposed lots 2 and 9, provide opportunity for alternative designs or enhanced corner treatment. Access provided by the central laneway that will provide access to the rear of the residential lots, reducing front driveways and supporting walkable urban form. The laneway improves utility access and fire response capabilities and must be built to the municipal specifications. Servicing, the applicant has submitted the following prepared by CVL engineers. They've provided a servicing plan, a survey and site plan, and grading plan. Currently, these are at the town's engineering and public works departments for to see if they conform with their standards. Also provided as part of the site plan was a 3-meter wide utility right-of-way, which is proposed adjacent and parallel to Riverside Drive East, 6th Street East, and 5th Avenue East, which is sufficient for shallow utility servicing. There's also been a plan provided for stormwater management. Site constraints, so basically it was reviewed with the coal mine mapping review, and there's no active or historical coal mine undermining in this particular area, with the closest being to the south of Highway 9 and the CN right-of-way, well outside the subject area. Flood hazard, the flood hazard map, the site is outside the floodway and flood fringe area of the Red Deer River, and no flood mitigation measures are required. So that basically comes to our recommendation. So we're recommending approval, subject to that it be registered at land titles. All outstanding taxes be paid to the municipality. Concurrent registration of utility easements and right-of-ways as required by relevant authorities. Registration of a 3-meter wide utility right-of-way along Riverside Drive East, 6th Street East, and 5th Avenue East. Construction of a laneway to meet municipal standards to be reviewed and approved by town staff. And number 5, arrangements to be made with the municipality for the provision of services, including off-site levies if required at the cost of the developer, or satisfactory arrangements to be made with the municipality for a development agreement at the cost of the developer. Development agreement will detail the phasing and construction of roadways, walkways, and utility servicing, and the agreement shall be registered on the certificate of title. Any questions?
I need a motion.
First. Okay, if we could have a motion then, please. Art?
That the Municipal Planning Commission support Palliser Regional Municipal Services recommendations and conditions as presented for file number 80/172.
Second. Shelley? Discussion on the matter? Questions of Palliser?
Who's the actual developer? Am I allowed to ask? Like, the town owns the property. Is the town developing it? Or is there a developer?
I'm not sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to answer that one, I guess. I think I would probably defer to the town. From my understanding, it's under the ownership of the town, but they're not necessarily developing it, which is why there's going to be a development agreement completed. So I think there's a conditional sale, and part of that conditional sale is subject to the subdivision approval as well as entering into a development agreement.
Yeah.
Do I understand that
That's,
correctly?
yeah,
Antonia?
that's all right. So it's still
That
under ownership
satisfies
of
me.
the town.
Yeah,
Um,
that satisfies me, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
One other question though. On that site plan, it's access from the laneway in the back, right? No parking out front, no driveways out front. I don't see room to be parking in the back of this thing. It's gonna be all on street from what I can see.
I haven't seen the building plans, so I can't really speak to that at this moment.
So I can.
I was
so,
just
so,
going by this that shows the buildings right up against the back lot line almost and no room to be parking back there. That's.
So the intention of the developer is to have access off the alley into attached garages. So while there are no minimum requirements in the land use bylaw to have those parking requirements, street parking is possible, but there is also plans to have those as attached garages, servicing each of the properties. But this is for the subdivision phase rather than the development permit application. So when it gets to the development phase, if required, they will again be circulated to MPC. If not, it comes through myself, and any of the plans are public information if anyone did have any questions.
I just saw that that was one of the complaints, concerns, so I just thought I'd.
Any other questions, Crystal?
So, there's no area structure plan for this area, correct? So, cause one of the complaints was to meet the character of the neighborhood, but there really is no rules on what the character of the homes could look like, which again doesn't relate to the subdivision, it relates to the development of the property. So, just to clarify to the public that there's variety of types of character of homes in that area, so.
Yeah, that's right. And then in the land use bylaw and in our municipal development plans, there is pretty strong wording encouraging slightly higher density and different housing styles throughout our neighborhood districts, including this area. So having those sort of proposed duplexes or row housing is still in line with the land use bylaw and our municipal development plans.
Could you tell me
Shelley?
if the, is this gonna be kind of geared to income, or is it going to be like, what? Like, is it going to be for, um, more luxury things or more, yeah, I guess so. But,
So again, so this is for the subdivision
Yes, I
phase.
know.
However,
it was just a question.
when it comes to the development phase, we don't look at user, so we don't
Yeah.
look at income or people, different user groups. It is the use of that space. So
Okay, thanks.
again, so this application is not for the physical construction, nor can I look at the who it is going to be used by when we do look at approving that
Okay, thank you.
building.
Any other questions? Okay, yeah, I like it's been said a number of times, I think it's important to remember this is the subdivision phase, not the development phase. So if and when the subdivision goes ahead and is approved, the second step of that will be, this will be coming back to us again to approve development phase. So right now, we're just looking at subdivision. Any other questions before we call the vote?
I was just gonna comment on whether it's permitted or discretionary in that location. I think under the neighborhood district, if I'm not mistaken, the dwellings, like single detached dwelling, duplexes, and I believe even multifamily or attached are permitted uses.
So the use would be a permitted use. However, in discussions with the developer, there may be some slight variances being requested due to the lot layouts, just to have some setback variances possibly to have those size properties on that. But again, that's not what we're discussing right now.
Actually,
Crystal?
so if we approve this subdivision and then it comes to development stage and it's determined actually the property lines need to change, that would happen during the development? Or would it have to come back for a new subdivision?
No, so if property lines have to change, then it still goes through the subdivision
Okay.
process again. So if the developer realized that, sorry, if something doesn't work out and the property lines need to change, unless it's being just a consolidation to make those larges, so 2, 1,
Right.
then it needs to go through the subdivision process. So whether we amend those property lines, move them, shift them slightly, so which is something that happened with the Old St. Anthony's location that went through the subdivision process a second time around, then that is a possibility. But we hope that it doesn't get to that point.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking ahead to the next stage, which would be development and getting circulated again.
Yeah.
And seeing actual visual plans of what the intention, that could
So
potentially change that.
if so as a permitted use, if it doesn't request any variances, then MPC doesn't see those plans. I would be the development authority for permitted uses requesting variances up to 20%, or none at all. If the developer is applying for discretionary uses, which is not the case in this scenario, or is requesting variances between 20 and 50%, then it comes to the Municipal Planning Commission and will then be circulated to the property owners beforehand, notified of the Municipal Planning Commission meeting that will happen to discuss that application, as well as there being that appeal period on the end, and then being circulated after the fact as well, for that 21-day appeal period, if that is required at the development stage.
Within the subdivision process, there's what they call a boundary adjustment. So that's usually just moving a boundary slightly, but it would still involve a full subdivision for that to occur.
Any other questions? All good ones, but yeah, we'll circle around to this one again when we get to the development stage. So if there's no other questions, we'll call a vote. All in favor? Opposed? None? Motion carried?
Oh, yeah. Doesn't say anything. Pardon? Oh,
Abstain?
Andrew, did you vote? Are you recusing yourself? Use your mic, please.
I'll abstain.
Okay, motion carried.
I just have one friendly amendment that needs to be made to 4.0. The seconder, which was Aaron, unfortunately you can't second meeting minutes if you were not here for it, so we need to have a new seconder.
Shelley,
We've- Yeah, so you can, so can we get Shelley friendly amendment to the minutes? Yes. Use your mic.
Good catch. All right, any other discussion items?
I will make an amendment that the Municipal Planning Commission adopt the minutes for May 29th. The Municipal Planning Commission meeting is presented.
That was as amended, right? Okay. Seconder was Art. All in favor? Was carried. Okay, thanks for the catch.
Sorry to take over.
Any other discussion items? If there's none, then next meeting date is set for June 26, 2025. Get a motion to adjourn, please. Shelley,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
second. Andrew? All in favor? Carried. Motion adjourned.